What's the story behind the blue literature? A 21st century term starting to appear lightly and slowly in lit ABCs these days. So why blue, the color in here? As far as we know, that the word blue in most Occidental culture symbolizes sadness, emotional failures, depression, and mournings. So why not green, orange, or even white literature instead? Especially if literature is meant to be the spoken and the written human common communicative, peaceful inheritance. White color has been always the symbol source of peace and worldwide speeches, a social consolidation, psychological comfort, and reassurance. Based on these two aspects, I could say that the blue literature will go further by choosing the blue color as an inside title to specific type of writings came on the grounds of the much our globe is suffering, a huge ruined environment and nature destruction, and it's time to admit the loss of control over this risk surrounding us. So how come the master of beauty communication, i.e. literature, could ignore this massive damage around? As it is a man's creativity, literature works on live details in hope to make them more beautiful, romantic, classy feeling, and document sense of art. Economy seems strong enough to have influence over writers themselves and their writings. Lit art such as novels, poetry, theater, plays, short stories, etc. Facts and obligations. What naivety to remind you of what's available on social media. As repeating this data, 71% of our planet is water, i.e. blue, about 94% of which are oceans, and i.e. blue. Luckily, no way to measure the interaction in between waters, oceans, and the mega blue mirror called sky. Here and once more, literature found itself with no choice but to embrace the term blue with a deep ecologic understanding, holding a universal movement which is still creeping but getting in process from an unconsciousness about what's happening to our globe to a good evolution towards a consciousness about the fate we clearly share and put it on the top of our concerns. Sharing this planet Earth could never and ever deny the paper of literature aiming to restricting modern values of a modern globe civilization. What's a blue literature? Yet it's a bit early giving a specific definition to something is being ongoing, blue literature. Here and there, we merely could see this motto about blue literature abbreviated in many people have good ideas. However, what is needed is people who make those ideas happen. The charming metaphor in here is the word ideas, because literature is been since ever the most comfortable vessel for ideas. Therefore, this bridge would allow me approaching a kind of a concepted definition. Blue literature is all production of creative writings or verbal speeches, arts, the blue color as a main power of a permanent inspiration element which designs the cool, calm feeling related to the sky, and waters reflecting an interior or universal lit discipline. Either we are godly, religious or not by nature and unintentionally, literature carries in its reference theatrical and ornamental smell of scriptures because they are a consequence of a persistent literary and a powerful tradition. I mean all the holy books, and here is my overview about the blue color in them. A. In the Torah, Shemot, Book 2, known as Exodus. And they saw the God of Israel, and there was under his feet as it were a paved work of sapphire stone, and it were the body of heavens in his clearness. Exodus from 10 to 24. On one hand, such verse of Torah suggested the holiness metaphor of gluttonously beauty to blue color, kahol in Hebrew, whereas on the other hand, by Jewish version dreams explanation traditions, the color blue remains a color that refers to law, meager, and sick indication. B. In the Bible. When the Lord sent his speech to Moses describing the holy garments type, his brother Aaron and his nephew must wear. These are the garments that they shall make. Going ahead describing the ceremony, number 4, 6 to 12. Then they shall put on it a covering of goatskin, and spread on top of that cloth all of blue, and shall put in its poles. And over the table of the bread of the presence they shall spread cloth of blue, and put on it the plates, the dishes for incense, and shall put in its poles, and they shall take a cloth of blue and cover the lampstand for the light, and they shall put on it with all its utensils in the covering of goatskin, and put it on the carving frame. And over the golden altar they shall spread a cloth of blue, and cover it with a covering of goatskin, and shall put in its poles. And they shall take all the vessels of the service that are used in the sanctuary, and put them in a cloth of blue, and cover them. Now, see the Quran. When we approach the Quran, the blue color is mentioned in a 5th position, and that's the unique time it's been uttered in a holy scripture made of 77,437 words. The day the horn will be blown, and we will gather the criminals that day, blue-eyed. Taha 102. يوم ينفخ في الصور ونحشر المجرمين يومئذ زرقا. Where it meant to describe the pessimism and torture of those people who disbelieve in God. Blue is the only color which maintains its own character in all its tones. It will always stay blue. French favorite Raoul Dufay. Every one of us has a heaven inside. British songwriter. All in all, none of us can breathe without the density mirage of waters. neither without the uniqueness of the skies, miraculous in the air, scattered blue light from the sun. Writers are supposed to invest in taking advantage of exposing their writings wherever they originally had come from, i.e., there isn't any corner or place where writing could be possible if beforehand there hadn't been a permission from the light. I refer in here to the Godmother, Sun, and its immense generosity. By this paper, JIVEP might be the first scholar on the blue literature as a new concept dimensioned in thoughts about a fresh and a very first term to be approved. Dr. Rachida Mohammedi.